I'm picking Jon Jones to win. But this is a very, very difficult fight. This is the most difficult fight he's ever had in his career. I'm going to tell you guys exactly why I think he's going to win. Thank you, Dr. Foreman. Thank you, Justin, for letting me know about the sound. Why is Jon Jones going to win this fight? For all of you who are not super aware of MMA, Jon Jones is moving up in weight class. He's arguably the greatest fighter of all time. 14 title fights. Ciryl Gane's got like 12 fights. Jon Jones has 14 title fights. Title fights. Remember that. Now, Ciryl has also a kickboxing career. He was, I believe, also a world champion in kickboxing. I'm not sure if he was a world champion or not. Guys, being a heavyweight world champion, it's kind of a strange thing. It's super, super difficult because the fight is so volatile. Heavyweights knock each other out all the time. Statistically, they have the most knockouts. Most fights end up via KO. Everybody's got knockout power in your division. Every single individual, even the guy who's a judo guy, who grappler guy, who doesn't really throw a lot of punches, he has knockout power. At that size, the human jaw just can't take that much power. For Ciryl to go undefeated in kickboxing and then go all the way up undefeated in UFC and then fight Ngannou, the hardest puncher in UFC history, and not get knocked out, tells me. And he also fought Tuivasa after in Paris. Guys, I was there. He got hit hard. His chin got checked. He survived it. He is so hard to kill. Even the top kickboxers at heavyweight get knocked out here and there. Go watch all the heavyweight K1 super fights. Watch all those incredible matchups. Everybody takes a beating eventually. At that weight class, it is too volatile. It is too dangerous of a weight class. Now, Ciryl Gane is super, super special in this respect. Not only did he fight undefeated all the way up to Ngannou, he fought Ngannou, the hardest puncher in the history of UFC, and he never got hurt. Now, he fought Tuivasa right after, another devastating puncher. Yes, he got his chin checked, but he recovered and came back with a KO. He fought Derek Lewis, another heavy puncher, toyed with him. His movement, his defensive skills are exceptional. His movement and his defensive skills are exceptional. So why am I picking Jon Jones? Why am I picking Jon Jones? Guys, let me tell you why. Jon is the most talented fighter in history. Jon Jones is the most talented fighter in UFC history. I've trained with him back in the day before he was a megastar. I've sparred with the man. I've trained with him. I've held pads for the man. The guy has two major elements that nobody else has. One, he has a freakish reach, 84.5 inch. He's a light heavyweight with the longest reach in UFC history, only tied by Stefan Struve. Stefan Struve, also 84.5 inch reach. But what makes Jon Jones so different than Stefan Struve? Stefan Struve getting knocked out every second fight. Good fighter, very good fighter, but he couldn't hang with the heavyweights, the light heavyweights. The heavy punchers would always find his chin and put him out. Why was Jon Jones so special? Why could he use that reach and not so much Stefan Struve? I'll tell you why. Because Jon Jones is also something else. He has a freakish reach and he has something else. He's also an incredible athlete. His strength, his speed, his stamina, his ability to move, his cardio, his athleticism, his quality of muscle is also incredible. I believe, I know a lot of people are going to call me crazy, that the striking is going to be very close, and even Jon Jones might dominate some of it. But eventually, Jon Jones, being very, very smart, very, very intelligent, will eventually squeeze this fight out by getting it to the ground here and there. And I don't think he's going to hold Gane on the ground. I don't think he's going to control Gane. I don't think he'll get a sub. It's unlikely. Not impossible, just unlikely. However, I do believe he's going to control Gane on the floor long enough to take those rounds. Now, Gane is not going to be easy to take down. I know a lot of people are going to tell me, Coach, and Ngannou took him down and he had a bad knee. A lot of people are saying this. Guys, it's different. Gane's takedowns are different than Jon Jones. Gane can hit, they measured on a force plate. Those, I forget what they're called. They're called a power cube. Power cube, I believe is the name. You punch it Listen to this. You punch it, it tells you how hard you hit. I posted a video once of me hitting it. And I can tell you that it's pretty accurate. I'm telling you. Like, in my opinion, the harder hitters get better, bigger numbers. Now, they hit it with a sledgehammer once upon a time. And the sledgehammer recorded about, I think it was like 100,000 or 150,000. I'm not remembering exactly Ngannou's score, but it was higher than a sledgehammer. Higher than a sledgehammer. Now, of course, Ngannou's fist is not made of steel. A sledgehammer is made of steel. And this is also, you know, if you get hit with a sledgehammer, it's a lot worse than getting punched by Ngannou. Okay, we're talking about force. We're not talking about density. Okay, two structures colliding. The structure with more density is going to win. Okay. Yes, he has a human hand. Yes, bone is not steel, but he could generate that much force, more than a sledgehammer. Okay. Ngannou, when he's throwing punches at you, the last thing you're thinking about is takedown defense. So the takedown defense is super easy. Look, guys, think about Yoel Romero when he tried to take down Adesanya. He could barely do it. He barely got Adesanya to the ground. Pereira brought him down to the ground repeatedly, 2-3 times. He's not a wrestler. He's a kickboxer. Why? He has a touch of death in his hands. When you're kickboxing against Pereira, you're not thinking takedown. The takedown door is open, wide open. It's a total different aspect. Okay, so Jon Jones is gonna have a harder time than Ngannou to get this fight to the ground. Why? Excuse me, not Ngannou. He's gonna have a harder time than Ngannou. Why? Because Ciryl Gane's takedown defense is gonna be on high alert from the beginning to the end of the fight. But Jon Jones' striking is very exceptional. He is very creative. He's a different striker than Gane has ever met, has ever seen. And Ngannou is an incredibly effective striker, but he's very predictable. You know you're going to get somebody throwing hard punches, very few kicks, and he's quite stationary. This is not true with Jon Jones. Jon Jones is going to use the long guard. He's going to use a variety of kicks. He's going to use oblique kicks. He's going to use spinning elbows. He's going to use flying knees. He's going to do all sorts of unorthodox things, even in the clinch. He's going to stomp on your foot. He's going to elbow. He's going to knee. He's going to spin off the... He's going to pin you on the fence, spin off the clinch, and hit you with an elbow. He's going to fake a shot, hit you with an elbow. Jon Jones is arguably one of the most creative fighters I ever had the privilege to work with. I believe that his experience, his creativity, his athleticism, his reach is going to defeat Gane. Now, I'm telling you my odds. Okay, it's 51-49. I don't think Jon Jones is going to steal this. It's not stealing candy from a baby. Absolutely not. But in my opinion, his longer reach. You know what it is? Let me tell you something. If Gane didn't bring in a guy with the 84.5-inch reach who has the athleticism of Jon Jones, he doesn't know what to expect. I don't think there's another guy on earth who can kickbox and wrestle like Jon with an 84.5-inch reach. There isn't. I don't mean, who's the next best light heavyweight? Who's the next best guy? There is not really anybody with those attributes. There are guys who are really, really good. Like DC is obviously almost, he's very comparable to Jon, but he doesn't have the same fighting style. You wouldn't prep with DC to get ready for Jon Jones. It's a whole different system. It's a whole different can of worms you're preparing for. Gane is going to have to figure things out for the first time on fight night. Now, Gane has a comparable reach. I believe it's like 81-inch reach. Jon has seen that before. He's seen big guys. You can find another Gane, a kickboxer. They're a dime a dozen. Great elite kickboxers are a dime a dozen. Find me a guy with an 84.5-inch reach with exceptional wrestling. Now, Jon Jones wasn't the greatest wrestler in his wrestling career. However, when we go to the octagon, when we go into MMA, he's among the best of the best. I believe he's been taken down once in his entire career. Gustafsson, I can't think of anybody else who took him down. Maybe partially. But he can absolutely get the fight, anybody to the ground. I know there's a few fights where he didn't take people to the ground. Okay, when he fought Thiago, he didn't bring him to the ground. Guys, I was more surprised than everybody. But Jon is a funny guy. Jon's the type of guy, he wants to beat you at your game. You're a kickboxer, okay, we're going to kickbox. You're a wrestler, okay, I'm going to shoot on you. I remember one night we're cutting weight together before the Machida fight. And like a year ago, we had a controversial swimming race, me and him. We swam and we raced. And he beat me, but I claimed that I won. You know, we're just kind of horsing around. And I brought it up. We're bringing it up. Who won? I know he won. The guy dives in the pool. He's already on the other end. Long story short, he's cutting weight now. The night before the weigh-in, he wants to have a rematch, a swimming rematch, just because it was controversial that day about who won between me and him. He's crazy competitive. He's a friendly, funny guy. I know, guys, there's a lot of bad things about him in the news. I'm not going to touch on that. I'm not going to talk about picograms, arrests, things like that. That's not what I want to talk about, okay? The man has his problems. There's no doubt. Okay, the man has his problems. What I'm talking about is he's incredibly competitive. He's going to try to kickbox with Ciryl, even if he can't take Ciryl down. This is a negative on Jon, okay? I'm telling you, this is not the smartest way to go about things. Jon will kickbox with Ciryl and try to beat him at kickboxing first and foremost. However, if he smells a takedown, he's going to go for it. Why? He's competitive, but he's not dumb. Okay, Jon is not a dumb guy. He's a super intelligent guy. When he fought Reyes and he kept on his feet and all that, he believed he can outstrike him. The second he decides or figures out that Ciryl is a little too much or it's a little too close, he will pull the trigger on the takedowns. Guys, Ciryl comes from a kickboxing background. However, he has done some impressive things in grappling and wrestling. Okay, he took down Ngannou. He has leg locks on his resume. He's won via leg lock. How many heavyweights do you know that have won? Name me one other heavyweight that won with a leg lock. I can only think of one right now in my head that pops up. Tim Sylvia versus Andrei Arlovsky. Achilles locked him. It's very, very rare. Okay, so he can wrestle, he can scramble, but not at the level of Jon. Guys, that is my opinion. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Give me a Jon Jones or Ciryl Gane. Put their name in the chat. I want to see who you guys think is going to win. I'm going to do a quick little survey, and then I'm going to explain to you. I'm going to take your questions and comment. We're going to talk about why this fight is going to be so challenging. It's not going to be an easy win for Jon Jones, even though I am officially picking Jon Jones to win. Ciryl, let me make the case for Ciryl real quick here before I go in your comments and questions. He has a very Muhammad Ali style. Okay, I don't want to say he's as great as Muhammad Ali. That's not what I'm saying. He has a very tiptoe for a heavyweight. He's tiptoeing, hands down. He's blitzing. He's doing a front kick. He's doing a very maigiri. It's more of a karate style snap front kick, not a Muay Thai type front kick. Okay, it's a little bit more karate style. He has a fantastic jab, fantastic spinning kicks. Even he was able to get in on a single, like a high crotch to a crackdown on Ngannou. He has some interesting takedowns. I don't think he takes down Jon Jones. I think if he shoots in Jon Jones' legs, it's going to be a bad night. Like, he's going to get countered. He's going to give Jon Jones a free takedown. Like, this is a bad idea. Very bad idea. Gane is going in there to kickbox. Now, he's got a quick in and out style, but the big knock on him is he doesn't seem to have that devastating KO power. He has KO ability, but he needs cumulative strikes. Cumulative at Tuvesa and Derek Lewis. He had to throw multiple shots. He hurt them and he stung them, and the way they reacted wasn't so great, and he had to add cumulative shots. He doesn't have that one touch of death out like a light. Jon will always have a chance to scramble, maneuver, and Jon is very good with his elbows. If you try to cumulative strikes, you might get an elbow to the face. Guys, don't forget Jon Jones' ability to elbow on the ground. Like, I've wrestled the guy. When he's in your half guard, he's so long, so tall. His elbows are so long that it feels like he has the angle of mount. When he gets in half guard and he's elbowing, it's like he's elbowing from mount. It's actually very, very bizarre. If you've never trained with somebody with those dimensions, you're in for a surprise. The first few rounds, you're in for a surprise. Guys, use Level Up 50 off at jujiclub.com. Everything is 50% off. Make sure to pick up all the latest videos. I've released a bunch of videos. I haven't talked about them much because I actually forgot to mention them but you have advanced basics videos. You have strong and stable running. Get in the best shape of your life. Learn how to start a running program, how to run to enlarge your calves, how to run properly using the modified pose method. It's all in there, and it comes with a PDF guide to teach you exactly how to start a running program. Okay, running program are the best for cardio. People ask me, how do you get in shape? The best for fitness is running. Cardio The number one way to develop your respiratory system is running. Okay, guys, I get this question asked all the time. Running is the number one cardiovascular exercise there is. Check it out. Use Level Up 50 Off. Guys, Level Up 50 Off works on any video you want, okay?